With every post in Brenna Scott's blog all Crohned up, she hopes another person will become aware of the disease. Scott lives with Crohn's, what she refers to as an invisible illness. She says it can be difficult to explain the effects of the disease.
Certain illnesses you can see, you can tell if someone has a broken arm, a broken leg, but this one you can't see. If my Crohn's is flared up, unless I'm bent over screaming in pain, you can't tell, which is great when you're like, it's in remission. I'm so happy that you can't see it. Like, I just look like an everyday person, but when it's flared up and I'm in a lot of pain, I don't like people to see that, but I'd like people to understand that I have Crohn's. It's an awkward disease to talk about because it's like, it's your bowels, it's your intestines, so it doesn't get a lot of people talking about it, which is also frustrating because, awareness means that more people will do research and more funds will be raised for it.
Crohn's can be located anywhere in the GI tract, which Jody Ginther from the Crohn's and Colitis Lethbridge chapter says makes the disease unique to everyone.
Crohn's and colitis is an intestinal disorder. It's a disease that affects Crohn's affects your whole intestinal system, basically from your mouth to your bum. Colitis is localized to the large intestine or your colon. One of the things that we do know about Crohn's and colitis is there's no two people that really are the same. What affects one may not affect the other.
When Scott was first diagnosed at 12 years old, like many people not affected by the disease, she had no knowledge of Crohn's.
I knew it must be something bad because I remember the doctor telling myself and my parents, and they both looked really worried and upset about it, but to me it just meant nothing. It was like, great, I have a name for it, because I'd been sick for about 9 months of them trying to diagnose me. I remember the day at the hospital, they're like, oh, you have to take all these steroids, because I was really underweight, I was lack of energy, I wasn't sleeping or anything. So I was like, well, I don't know how to swallow pills. And they're like, okay, you're gonna learn today.
The university student says people are gaining knowledge about the disease with events like the annual Gutsy Walk in Lethbridge. The event raises money for Crohn's and Colitis Canada. Scott says she's happily participated in the event for the last few years.
It makes me feel really good to know there's other people out there that have it and are struggling with it, because it's most time I'm able to laugh about Crohn's, but yeah, definitely sometimes you're having a bad day, so it's nice to know there's other people that are also feeling like you are.
Stress is known to be an onset of the disease's symptoms, which Scott says is almost inevitable as a student. Scott's blog has not only become a great tool to raise awareness, but as an English major, she says helps her to cope with the disease.
I was having a really bad day where I was just feeling down about Crohn's, and I've had a mini flare-up right now. I might be in the process of switching medication. So I decided, instead of feeling bad for myself, I'm definitely one that writing is a great form of therapy, so I decided, hey, I'm going to start a blog. And I've actually just loved it. I find it so fun because I'm constantly thinking what else I should write about, and then when I'm having a bad day or a bad moment, I'll just write a quick blog about it, and then it immediately makes me feel better. There's a few other people I know at the school that also have Crohn's, so it's kind of really nice and makes you feel really good that other people are reading and relating to it.
Scott has been on about 8 different medications since being diagnosed and keeps up to date on the latest findings for treatments. Ginther says our own province is making strides in Crohn's and colitis research.
We have a world-renowned research facility at the University of Calgary. They've determined that there are over 180 DNA markers for Crohn's and colitis.
Scott says one of the best medications she could ask for is the support from her family and friends. For Go Southern Alberta, I'm Fallon Wagner.